Dumoulin takes a look. Deflection scores! Letang! Could you script it any better than this?
Pitch it to Najee Harris. Harris sidesteps, gets to the sideline. Najee Harris dives for the pylon. Touchdown, Steelers!
I don't think I expected anything less.
That's unbelievable. It is absolutely incredible.
Not to be political, but they were born in the 1800s and they actually died, but nobody knew it, and no checks were sent out. So it was all bad information. But yeah, thanks, Nick, for helping me. We got people tuning in. Frank Manna, Ann Harder watching from Castle Tavern. Can't miss Sportsline. Well, have a drink on me. Frank Manna's watching. Johnny Mariano, no sound. Well, text your son, and we'll move on with that. I'm Al Levine, the talking machine. We got Smoking Jim Frazier, winter dressed man. We got Chip Painter back again. He's going to be here 2 weeks in a row.
Wow.
Because he's going to be here when the kids aren't here. The volunteers are all in the band. We salute Michael, Marco, and Chance. Enjoy that band. And we'll go with it then. And we got Nick Callis here. Thanks for watching. I got to do a little thing on the Post-Gazette. It was a sad day for me last week when I heard the Post-Gazette settled with a union I was in. It was called the Mailing Room. We were called mailers. We put the comics together when they were thick like that, 20, 30 sections. We stacked 30-some bundles. My grandfather helped found the union back in the 20s. My dad worked there over 40-some years. I only got 36 in and got a buyout. Wait, it'll be 15 years ago. So I would have had 50 years in if I were working there. So it's a sad day. Illegally, they didn't give them health care and they went on strike. Well, they ended up winning their case over 2 years later, so they all got paid health care and they had to settle up. There were only 8 members left. When I got in, there were 220. So times got bad for the paper. They're putting out a scab paper with non-union people at the Butler Eagle, that they bought that paper twice a week and they're online. So I don't even pay attention when they put Post-Gazette stuff up there, and whoever works for them, hey, they did what they had to do. But I had a great union career there, and I'm able to talk to you each week with another career. It's been my honor, but thank you for all of you. I've had people come up to me through the community in the area because I know a few people, only 6,700 friends on Facebook, 7,300 on Pittsburgh Sportsline. And
but who's counting?
Yeah, I lost track. I'm not bragging. My son Drew, salute you. He said, "Dad, don't brag." I go, "Drew, I'm just saying the truth." So I appreciate all of you that come up to me personally and told me that, and you know, these things go on, but times change. I go, look at the horse and buggy. What happened when they invented cars? Who would think horse and buggies that have been around for 1,000 years with chariots in Egypt and everything else? So newspapers are in the Constitution. Yeah, read it there if you haven't read the Constitution. So it's in there, and newspapers are basically dead. So it's just in Pittsburgh, too, another sad day there. And then I want to announce my biggest fan and our biggest fan, Skip Pappy Atkins. We met him on Facebook. He was the greatest guy. Died at 91 just recently. His daughter called me up, said he had passed away, and he loved us so much. He'd come here all the time. I gave him Pittsburgh Sportsline hats, a polo for him. He wore them proudly. We're in pictures with him. Smokin' Jim started our Hall of Fame. Like our first year after being in business, said we'd be bigger than NFL and MLB Hall of Fame. So just like his betting, wrong.
Wait, where's the Hall of Fame at? Monroeville?
We don't know. I've never been to his house. So let me honor Skip.
Lincoln Highway?
Let me honor Skip. And one of the greatest moments, and I have to share this, he would buy Smokin' Jim and I. We were at Hollywood Lanes in Dormont, great place. He'd get us a pizza and stuff, and he'd get a hoagie. Well, I had this friend of mine, Grandmaster Zhang. First time have him on a show, he goes, Mr. Levine, could I break a board by kicking it over your head? And I go, yeah. And he goes, that'd be great. Now, he's about 5'6". I'm 6 foot tall. Skip brings in a hoagie, and I'm eating a hoagie, and I go, Skip, is it all right if I eat your hoagie? And he goes, yeah. Grandmaster Zhang goes, Mr. Levine, will you eat that hoagie when I break that board? And guess what? It's on film. You can check it out. It was in 2016, Hollywood Lanes, I think March
7th.
March 7th.
I remember editing that one.
Yes, he edited that, and we had to do a special clip. I'm eating the hoagie. I'm bent down a little eating, and I go, when are you going to do it? Bang. He broke it. Didn't flinch at all. And I found out later, how about this? You know, I trust people. And Grandmaster Zhang goes, that's the first time I ever broke a board over somebody's head.
Wow.
Those are the stories, and Skip Atkins was there watching me eat his hoagie. May he rest in peace. He was at every show, and he'd even tell me if he couldn't make it that he wouldn't be there, but he'd be there the next time. And he battled diabetes and some other issues later in life, and may he rest in peace. I know it's a long monologue, but he was that great of a man. And he was a Dormont resident and Port Authority driver. So
He used to comment about my enthusiasm for the Pirates.
yes.
I don't remember that.
Well, you didn't know baseball yet. Smokin' Jim, that was our first year. You were, folks, little sidebar, no disclaimer.
He's still trying to learn how to play first base.
Right. Well, I don't know if he's ever been to first base.
Pedro Alvarez is his coach.
All right, we digress. Watch our promos. We took the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette down. Thank you for your help. We have 3 new promos in there. I'm promoting events coming up. One's a dog walk and a veterans thing coming up May 17th on Drew's birthday. And I got to announce on May 5th, Drew's moving on with a career American Cruise Lines. He's going to be a deckhand. They go on rivers. They go on the ocean coast. And he's leaving May 5th.
Is that the Love Boat?
No. It's like it, though. There'll be people like you there.
What does that mean? What is that?
Well, everybody knows how Smokin' Jim is.
Whoa.
He's not us. He's just Smokin' Jim.
Whoa.
So Drew will be gone, so watch these, and we'll fill you in on later updates. That's all my personal stuff out for you. Watch the promos and support us. Thank you.
My name is Nicholas Callis, and this is the Bethel Park Minute. The Bethel Park Police will be holding the latest Crime Watch meeting on Monday, April 7th in the Bethel Park Community Center classroom. Check the Bethel Park website for a full list of upcoming meetings, including the regular council meeting, which is scheduled for Monday, April 14th at 7:30 p.m. in council chambers. No Cook Tuesdays continue this week at the Bethel Park Community Center from 4 to 7 p.m. in the playground parking lot. Check Bethel Park Recreation Socials for a list of their weekly food trucks. Also at No Cook Tuesday, if you're interested in making sure that the Silver Tea Line continues to operate, you can express your opinion at the April 8th No Cook Tuesday or join them for an online forum on April 16th at 6 p.m. To register, you can sign up online. My name is Nicholas Callis, and this has been the Bethel Park Minute.
Frank Fanera, owner of Olive Oil's Pizzeria and the Hillcrest Shopping Center on Route 88. Call them at 412-831-1900. Every Tuesday night, Olive Oil's Pizzeria provides the host and the amazing volunteer crew with an XL pepperoni pizza and a full steak hoagie. They are delicious. Olive Oils is proud to support Pittsburgh Sportsline and the volunteers at BPTV. Stay Joey strong. Joey Fabus died at 8 years old of brain cancer known as DIPG. Since then, the family has come together with community members to create the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit. Since being founded, they've raised over $100,000. Go to jfccf.org to learn more about DIPG, to help spread awareness, and to see how else you can support and donate towards the fight against this dreaded brain cancer. Always Be Smiling, a 501c3 designed to help children and families in need of kidney transplants. The B stands for Bennett, whose memory is embedded in this organization by his parents, Kristen and Dean. Despite the challenges he faced in his 16 and a half years of life, Bennett always had a smile on his face and spread kindness to everyone he could. Now, Always Be Smiling wants to pass on that kindness. Go to alwaysbesmiling.org to learn more and see how you can support or donate to this organization. The Bethel Park Community Foundation has money for you. I'm Al Levine, trustee on the board of this great organization. The BPCF focuses on raising money to provide scholarships, grants, endowments, and more. Grant requests are available online from $100 to $5,000. You can also attend fundraisers or donate. Go to bpcf.org to get more information and to stay up to date on upcoming events. The Bethel Park Community Foundation, focusing community resources, building for the future. The Bethel Park Historical Society is a 501c3 that serves Bethel Park. The Historical Society operates out of the Schoolhouse Arts and History Center, located at 2600 South Park Road. Look for the red and white trolley right out front. Reginald's Coffee is inside, and I've heard it's the best coffee around. To visit this great historical venue, email historicalsocietybp@gmail.com. Hold it. We're going back, Jim.
And that's Dolly checking it out.
Nice. Oh, I'm back. Nobody said I'm on, but thank you. Oh, that is great. Well, I lost track. Frank Manna, I got sound. Michael Rohde's watching. Frank Manna, nothing on TV. TV okay. Bob Kerr's watching. Teresa Mariano's watching. Ralph Williams watching. Hello, guys. Ralph said. Chuck McElroy's watching. Shane McGriff. Chief says, does Smokin' Jim ever get the first base with his sweeties? This is a family-oriented show, Chief. You have to talk to him privately on Facebook.
Jeez.
We know in baseball.
Never.
In baseball, he never got there. So
He looked from home plate to first base and said, "That's a long way."
yeah, and then I know it, for all of you that watch, hey, Smokin' Jim, my Tony DiPaolo, my number 77 at Keystone Oaks, a couple years older, he loves the show, and he wonders why I pick on you. guess what? He bets against the Pirates that they lose 100 losses each season. He just bought a $5 cap that goes for $45. And I got to say, what's on your mind, Smoking Jim, non-Pirate fan Frazier?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
Relish.
you got to see Levine. Me and VIP of BPTV, Nick Callis, we invented these relishes, man. I tell you what,
You invented them.
I just bought 30 hot dogs for $5.
How much string?
And I tell you what, man, this.
We got
I
inside
won't use
jokes.
it without this is almost impossible to find. Almost, and Nick will tell you, almost impossible to find.
Here, I'll tell you what. Drew and I are in the AMC program there. We go to see movies and get discounts and we get
Mission
popcorn.
Impossible.
Well, that's coming up. So we saw the last one, Smoking Jim. Yeah, it was $1 billion movie you missed. And they have condiments. You know what condiments are?
I heard of it.
Okay, well, they have a bunch of them, and then Relish is right there. It's at South Hills Village. You
Is
could
that
walk
Heinz?
in.
Is that Heinz? Okay.
You could walk in like you're going to get a ticket and just wander over to where the condiments are.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Marco and Chance, and I want to tell Mikey, those hoagies are so good.
How good are
Next
they?
time, I don't want 2. I'm going for 3. 2 ain't enough. Mikey put me down for 3 turkey hoagies. But hey,
And he never lies.
Al Levine, the talking machine. And I tell you what, I'm only right 97% of the time, and Chip will know that.
Except
But
when he bets.
I was wrong. I wasn't sure how good a coach UConn's coach was. I always thought they won championships because they had superior.
Are you
teams.
switching to women's basketball?
Man, I love women's basketball.
Okay, thank you.
And
Clarify that.
UCLA was so much better than any other team in college basketball all season long, but the coach for UConn they got this tall center that's unstoppable, but a little bit awkward, and they used their athleticism to blow UCLA out, and that was all coaching Al Levine, the talking machine. And lastly, I want to give a shout out. I'm a little disappointed in my Pittsburgh Penguins for this reason. I wanted Ovechkin to break the record here in Pittsburgh because you would have had Gretzky, Ovechkin, Lemieux, 3 of the greatest players in NHL history.
What
all
about
there.
Sid?
Well, he's top 20.
No, he's top 5.
He's top 20.
He's top 5.
And they would have had all those there to see. And I tell you what, the Penguins might have set the world record of giving up the first shot goal. Or did they already get that record broken?
Did you mean South Carolina, not
Yeah.
UCLA?
No, UCLA was better than South Carolina. South Carolina was good. UCLA was so good. With
Well,
that
they
big
said they
girl.
blow them out too.
Who?
South
UConn.
Carolina. Yeah, they
UConn,
did. Yeah, they did.
The UConn, that was coaching. But in the semifinals, in the Final Four, they beat UCLA. UCLA got this tall girl. She's like Bill Walton.
Hey, Smoking, I got to disagree with you a little. My dad told me years ago, being a referee in basketball.
Tiptoe.
Yeah. And he goes, you know how good these coaches are? They need the good horses. That's why they win.
Good point.
So the players get a 10% with Smoking.
Good point. And that's
Just thought I'd add in there. Thank you. No disclaimer on them except for the Pirate. It's sacrilegious. Look that up in Funkin' Wagnalls. All right, Chip Hayner, you can wear the P anytime you want. You're a loyal Pirate fan. What's on your mind beside Buccos?
Well, interestingly enough, 2 national championships were crowned between Sunday night and Monday night. UConn Huskies won the women's Gino Ariema's 12th
Yes.
national championship, which set a record.
He needs
in and of
another
itself.
hand. He got 10. That's a 2.
Now, of course, this will beg the question, who's the greatest basketball coach of all time? And
Ooh.
I don't really like to get into that because, when you look at all of the great coaches there, what's the measuring stick you use? Is it wins? Is it championships? And if you go to championships, John Wooden, 9 in a row, a record that's never going to be broken.
Yeah.
You
Look at those players, horses.
Well, and his best players, Walton and Lou Alcindor, couldn't play their freshman years. They were only allowed to play
3 years.
sophomore, junior, and
Imagine what
senior.
he could have won.
Yeah, so
I know where you're going, Chip.
it's still a great accomplishment, and when we got to tip our hat to the Florida Gators, after the way that Duke collapsed against the Houston Cougars, the Houston Cougars returned the favor and collapsed against the Florida Gators last night.
One point, Chip. Did you notice Houston in their defense and Florida in their defense? I think that's had a little effect there. And Duke also had a good defense, but they got tired by the relentless defense of Houston.
Yeah.
I didn't see the final. Did you hear what I mentioned with Houston?
So, two great
I try
games.
not to lie like you.
Sunday and Monday night, two great games and
He thought he got me.
two proud championships. So now, always the Pittsburgh Pirates are on my mind, but I do have to take the Pittsburgh Pirates organization to task.
Hurrah!
Okay? The first one was the taking down of Clemente's logo on the right field wall for opening day. And then the way a vice president of the team said that logo was never really meant to be there permanently. And it was disrespectful in a lot of different ways. It was disrespectful in a lot of different ways because it wasn't communicated to the fans, but most importantly, it wasn't communicated to the Clemente family. And I saw a letter that was posted on Facebook on Sunday by Roberto Clemente Jr., and I rarely comment on things on social media, and I had to put my 2 cents in, and I said I felt like the Clemente family handled this whole situation with class, because if you read the letter, it was a very classy way to respond to it, and I said the Pirates did not. So subsequently, later on Sunday evening, it was announced that the Pirates were going to put the logo back, and Travis Williams is the person that accepted responsibility for that. He said that was my decision alone. It was a bad decision. I made a mistake, and we're going to correct it. And I applaud the Pirates. I applaud Travis Williams for doing that. I still say that was really a crappy way to treat the Clemente family, which has meant so much to Pittsburgh Pirates organization and the Pittsburgh sports community, and the way to treat the fans. The next item that I would like to take them to task for, apparently there was some cement work done around the outside of PNC Park. And when PNC Park was put in, people paid money to have bricks engraved with the names, either their names of season ticket holders or their deceased loved ones.
Right.
And once again, no notification was made to any of the people that had those bricks. They were unceremoniously dumped in a construction dump site. And I think that this is the next thing. Can you make yourself look worse? This is the next wrong that I believe the Pirates organization needs to right. Because at the very least, if they're not going to put the bricks back, the people that were responsible for putting them there with their names, their donations, the memory of their loved ones, should at least have the opportunity to get those to keep as a personal keepsake.
If they're able to.
And once again, here we're giving very little thought. We're thinking of the business end of the sport and not thinking about the human end. And it's a really bad look for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and it's a wrong that I think that they need to right. But that's what's on my mind tonight.
No, that's great stuff. I agree with you, Chip. I met at one of our Police Pal basketball games. A lady comes up to me and she goes, "Hey, do you know my husband? He's friends with you on Facebook." And I go, "I got a lot of close friends there, you know." And it's Roberto Clemente Jr.
Are you? Where is this at?
Well, this was during one of the Police Pal games. You weren't there then, but yeah, somehow you missed out.
Yeah, there's no camera.
So I shook his hand and I said, Roberto, remember we met a few years ago? He goes, "That's why we're friends. I told my wife to ask you to come up and say hi to me." So how cool is that? Roberto's son, after a game, goes, "Hey, I want to meet you." Then
was he whining then too?
Was he what?
Whining then too?
Whining
and complaining then too?
No. He wanted to meet me, Smoking Jim, like you. You know how people go up to you and you don't know who they are? Well, I knew who he was, so I thanked him. And he said, "Yeah, I appreciate you and follow you on Facebook." And Nice to meet you.
So,
Very nice man.
With those commemorative bricks, this has nothing to do with sports here, but my father was born and raised in Plattsburgh, New York.
Yeah.
And they have a river rock on Lake Champlain where my father and mother had a brick engraved, and it's their name in Pittsburgh,
That means
PA.
something to you, yeah.
When the first time I drove up to Maine with Stephanie, we stopped, and it took me about 2.5 hours. I found it. Wow! And
How cool is that?
And it's still there. Took pictures of it and everything.
Yeah.
But yes, those kind of things, to just unceremoniously dump them in a dumpster,
Well,
bad look.
this is me reminiscing a lot. You know, the Korean War Memorial, my dad's on that.
Yeah.
So he's
My-
on there.
my father
and
fought in
I
Korea
know
as well.
what an honor that is.
My grandpa fought in Korea.
There we go.
What that?
So did my
We're
father.
covering that.
3 Bronze Stars.
No, that's always good. All right. Hey, thanks, Chip. Made good points there. And J.B. Reagan's watching us, our longtime friend. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to go to, almost there.
There we go.
Nick Callis, what's on your mind?
There's too much on my mind. Busy day. A lot of going on.
Take a deep breath.
We were supposed to have 2 baseball games to cover at the beginning of the week. Bethel Park was supposed to play South Fayette, and then that didn't happen. A lot of games got postponed. So now they're doing a doubleheader tomorrow should the weather hold up, which is supposed to get warmer, but it might rain.
In the 40s.
Yeah, so, and then it's, well,
Heat wave.
It's warmer. It's warmer. Hey, there you go. So, and actually, it's supposed to get up toward the 50s by the weekend, so that's good.
It is spring.
Pirates won't be in town, but
Yeah.
it'll be nice weather to do things that you might enjoy with your time, other than going to watch the Pirates play. No, in all seriousness, just looking at things from the Pirates' perspective. See, I forgot how much I missed baseball because then it comes around and I feel like I have intelligent things to say because we're not talking about the Steelers necessarily. And
You brought it up.
Times you could put Aaron Rodgers in the conversation.
He's going to retire.
No, he's gonna come to the Steelers. You trust me on that one. But
I have before.
yeah. So Pirates. So
Just like the Super Bowl.
here's the thing. Did I get the Super Bowl wrong? Somebody get the Super Bowl wrong? What are you talking about? Nothing? Okay. I got Kenny Pickett right coming to the Steelers. And, I did say the Buccaneers would win the Super Bowl back in 2020, 2021. So, we're all good. I got some inside information. All is good. Even though I didn't make that prediction when I worked for the Fan. Either way, let's get back on track.
That was a distraction.
Yeah,
so
it was a
carry
distraction. We got plenty of time. We're good. So they're becoming entertaining in an unexpected fashion, I will say. You want exciting players on the team, and we didn't get that. However, we got an offense that is scoring runs, and that's good. Andrew McCutcheon, I've always had faith in him. Mark my words. You've heard me say it before. I think he's a good hitter, and he's still getting on base. He's still getting hits. And so far to start the season, he's been productive, along with a few other players on the Pirates team. So they're not struggling for runs right now. They've been around 4. They've been around 4 runs a game. Other than the games they played against the Rays where they didn't score very much, they have been around the 4-run range in games, and they scored their highest amount in a single game this season so far at 8 against the Cardinals yesterday. Right now they're being shut out, but it's still early. We'll see what happens there. Skeen's giving up a bunch of runs. No good. Anyway, it's unexpectedly exciting what the offense has done this season to put up runs and give the team support. It's a shame that the bullpen couldn't lock games down, and now David Bednar's in AAA. I think I went over that a little bit last week. It was just a tough decision, but it's one that had to be made. And now they're doing a thing. Thomas Harrington got a save yesterday, which is interesting. Just to have Mlodzinski go 5 and have Harrington go 4. It's interesting to see that dynamic. Like, they're not going to put one guy in a high-leverage situation. I'd like to see Dennis Santana pitch in a high-leverage situation, but they didn't need one yesterday because they scored so many runs. So it all kind of worked out. But that's kind of the scary part. Right now you got the bullpen that's shaky. You're hoping that the starting rotation can stay consistent, but again, as Paul Skeens is actively giving up runs, I'm a little bit scared of that, right? Because when some things go right for the Pirates, other things seem to not go right, and nothing can ever just be in alignment. Much like the defense, where you got a bunch of Pirates playing out of position, and And then, you got O'Neal Cruz out in center. He's the biggest one. Everybody else is, doing fine.
Well, he is 6'8".
He's terrible.
He's 6'8".
I think he's only 6'7".
No, I thought 6'8".
I heard 6'7". I think he's as tall as Aaron Judge.
Oh, okay.
Last time I checked. That's why I remember that.
I got to Google that.
Yeah, so it's not good what he's doing out in center field. It's like he doesn't understand. We talked about this before. This isn't news, but he just doesn't understand the nuances of baseball, and he's playing center field like it, which is no good. You thought he had more time to prepare, considering that he was put in center to end last season. You got a whole winter to at least work on some training, and then you got the spring training month to figure it out.
6'7". I stand corrected.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Google's right again.
And Nick's right.
Nick also. I salute you, Nick.
So it's just disappointing. Here's the whole point. It's disappointing because you feel like the team could win the division if it had a bit of an advantage somewhere. They're bad, but they're 1 or 2 steps away from being good, which makes it even more frustrating. And I was talking about that on the radio this morning at 5 a.m., not the desirable hour for many, but I talked that
Smoking Jim's just going
Smoking
to bed.
Jim's going to bed, right? He's ending his day at that time. But I talked about it, and somebody commented in. I was talking about things you could be optimistic for with the Pirates, and somebody messaged in on X and said, "Well, Nick, I don't think it's necessarily that there couldn't be good or bad things that happen with the season. It's the fact that the division is so winnable. The NL Central is so weak that the Pirates could have just gotten a little bit more talent for the lineup, perhaps, or to put a guy in a position that he's meant for and spend that little extra money to get a guy, and then they might be winning more games and actually be able to compete for the division." When I heard that, I understand where fans are coming from. So that's just the way I'm looking at that right now. Is that makes sense? The Pirates are 3 games out of the division, while other last place teams in other divisions are 8 games out already. So when you look at it from that perspective, yeah, that's absolutely frustrating. The NL Central is very weak, and the Pirates are right now shifted toward the bottom. My barometer starts to hit seriously at 40 games to start making judgments on things. So, I don't want to rush to hasty decisions, but when you look at similar results from last season then translating to this season early on, it doesn't inspire anybody. So I understand if you don't want to go to games and sit out in 35-degree weather and watch this team. I get it. And I've been saying this all off season, and now we're watching the results to start the season now, where we have tangible results to pick from, and that is that there's a lot of the same. And nobody wants the same. And you don't want the same when you have a winnable division. I get it. And in a land where fans are looking for anything to complain about, you cover the Clemente, son, right? No good. You disrespect people, and so no good.
You know what?
And
I got to interrupt you. It's a Pittsburgh Sportsline first. No, maybe not a first, but close to it. It's the first time that they've actually agreed 100%.
No, you put it in your folder. You wrote down the first time we actually
I know,
agreed with
wasn't
each
it?
other.
Yeah, so this might be the third time.
Yeah, no.
That they agreed.
It's not common.
So I lost the bell, so I'm happy that you two agreed.
But it goes even deeper than that.
It's a great point, though.
Things can be forgivable when you've got a team that you feel like was properly invested in. And so when fans are searching for things to be upset at, you do that, and it just makes everything feel disingenuous. It makes everything feel like they're not actually invested in the team. It makes it feel like they're just making a host of business decisions. And then Dan Zangrilli went on with the afternoon show on The Fan yesterday and was talking about how Ben Cherington was investing a lot of money in the offseason into research and development. There is some murmurings about Ben Cherington really being firm on that research and development element of the game, which might be why they didn't sign free agents. And if that's true, and again, that's just Dan Zangrilli's perspective, and that's what he's heard behind the scenes, where we can't confirm any tangible sources. Is it
insider knowledge or not?
We can't confirm any tangible sources, but if that's true, if Ben Cherington did spend the offseason on more research and development, that's upsetting. That's just upsetting. Everything right now is going very wrong, and even though that's the case, the Pirates are still in the division hunt What are we, 2 weeks into the season now? So if you're frustrated out there, I mean, this message is for you to kind of sum it all up. If you're upset, I get it. If you feel like this team isn't watchable, I understand. I'm not going to sit here and plead with you to go to the games, because I've been saying this all offseason. Nothing significant's been done. And to top that all off, I was reminded that this division's really weak, and it's playing out that way to start. The Pirates aren't taking advantage of an opportunity where they have Skeens and they're playing in a weak division. And when you don't do that, and then you cover up Clemente's sign, you just look like you don't care. So if the team doesn't care, you don't have to care out there. I get it. The Steelers are a different breed, because at least when they collapse, they're interesting. They do it a different way every season. The Pirates have been doing the same thing now for the last 3 seasons, and it's no good. So that's what's on my mind.
Our man, Chief, 6 Pirate starters are hitting below 200, the Mendoza line.
Yeah, individually they're not doing great, but they
don't
are
even
scoring
have
runs.
20 at bats. Nice stat, Chief.
Yeah, very good.
Nice stat.
Chief's a stat man, him and his dad, Jimmy Mack.
That's why I don't look at those early on either. I look at how's the team producing runs, and right now the team is producing runs. That's a fact. They are scoring. So I'm not worried about those stats.
The thing I find amusing
Chip,
is that we're gonna talk about things and get upset about things that we can't confirm or deny.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Only until the Steelers start practicing.
I didn't. No. Wait. Are you talking about what I said? Confirm or deny?
Yes.
No. Somebody said something.
Somebody said something with no proof about anything. It's just an opinion, and it's not worth getting upset or worked up
All right,
about.
everybody. I'll just remind everybody again. I work for the flagship station of the Pittsburgh Pirates. If there's something to know, I'm going to know about it.
Yes, sir.
And I wouldn't say anything that I didn't know.
Yes, sir.
Right? And I've predicted a lot of Pirates moves on this show for all of you, and I've hinted a lot of things about the Steelers and the Pirates for all of you out there. So if you watch Sportsline, you've got an advantage, because that's what I do. So thank you. So again, while I can't tell you who said what, but if Dan Zangrilli's saying something and hinting towards something, something's happened. I'm trying to paint a story for you about what's going on so that things make sense.
Here, let me interrupt. For a 26-year-old, that makes sense. For us, we would say where there's smoke, there's fire.
There's smoke. I can't tell you where the fire is, but there's smoke.
There may be fire. I had to dumb it down. For me, it's almost 69.
Yeah, it's not like I'm getting this information from some people on the street corner, right? I didn't get this information from Monroeville people in God's country, right? There's a chain, there's a line of information that I'm finding out these little nuggets from. So
here, yeah. Nick, here's a good comment. Ann Harder, go Nick.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, yes. We're gonna move on. What's on my mind? I got so distracted with what we're doing. But yeah. Thanks for letting me make comments on each, and we honor Skip. He always enjoyed watching our shows. I just have great memories. He would tune in, and we appreciate it. This is a tough moment for me.
Yes!
The other day, I heard, it's hard to even say,
Raise the roof.
The guy with one shot in the NHL from the right side of the net.
You mean the one-trick pony?
Yeah, I hate to quote Tomlin, but he is a true one-trick pony. He beat one of the greatest of all time, Wayne Gretzky, and he scored his 895th goal. So I love sports, so I salute him begrudgingly, because guess what? Nobody thought that would happen. And then look what happened. Smoking Jim disrespects Lemieux and Sidney Crosby. Sidney Crosby, for 20 years, broke Gretzky's record of averaging a point a game. And that means more than almost anything, because I don't know if anybody can beat that record, because it's so rare that only Sid was able to do it in 20 years. And he's a workaholic, unlike the guy that criticizes him and Lemieux, Smoking Jim.
So criticism to say Ovechkin is better.
Because you don't even base it, like you don't know baseball and you don't know hockey, and you guess you like Yager because he went to strip clubs, and you thought he's the greatest, and he was a good player here.
I mean, he got thrown out of strip clubs.
Well, no, and I never mentioned it on air till now. The main reason he liked him is he was a degenerate gambler at every casino. And it's a fact. You can check it out. All right, fiction and fact from Smokin' Jim's Almanac, 10 seconds.
One thing I can say is my girl Linda appreciates greatness. You know, when you're great, you're great.
Oh, the
So
disclaimer.
great.
What?
Disclaimer,
We are.
Linda just is doing camera work. She's not part of the show. We're trying to get her on the show to replace Smokin' Jim every other week when he comes in late.
No, Smokin' messed up. Wait, who are you talking about, Penn State?
Huh?
You said Linda's wearing Penn State.
No, I said she can appreciate
Penn
greatness.
State.
No, greatness.
Oh, Penn
He
State's
didn't mention
Then I said
it.
we
Then he
are.
said we are.
Penn
Yeah.
State.
But Penn State's not great, so what are you talking about?
Well,
They got the greatest.
Hey, they won a
alumni.
national championship.
Hey,
in
my daughter
1985.
graduated there with 3 degrees, Casey, and I found out when they talked to us parents, they have the largest, I don't care what you say, alumni group
Yes.
in the country.
yeah. Well, let me just close off with this. And
You just started, so
I
don't
know
close.
My man Chip, I don't know if Nick can appreciate this, the VIP of BPTV.
Probably not.
But Chip can, and I know Ella Bean can. That's just.
Oh, don't put words in my mouth.
gonna mention-
I'm against you and Ovechkin.
I'm going to mention records that'll probably never be broken. I think number one, Chip pulled my coat to Cy Young, over 500 wins. That'll never be broken.
Ever.
The greatest baseball player I ever seen, Roberto Clemente used to say, for me, the greatest.
Didn't we already debunk that like
Pete Rose.
3 years ago?
Pete Rose, 4,000 hits. I don't think anybody will have 4,000 hits.
I think it could happen.
Well, you think.
With those tornado
Oh,
bats.
Not a chance.
4,000.
That-
Not 4,256. That's the record. He's talking about 4,000. There'll be another 4,000 hitter. Absolutely.
No.
Luis Arias gives me hope. He was close to 400 toward the All-Star break a couple years ago. Somebody could do it. Somebody could do it. It's possible. There is a lot of context still in the game from a small percentage of players. Absolutely could happen.
Okay.
Nope.
Chip might be gone. He won't see it, but I mean, I'll probably see it.
Whoa, 26.
Wilt Chamberlain's 100 points in the game.
All right, somebody cut his mic.
What, Wilt Chamberlain?
No, you're done.
No. I got two more.
No, he's done.
I got two more. Tom Brady, 7 Super Bowls. Maybe Patty Mahomes can do it, but I don't know.
Patrick.
And lastly, I don't think we'll ever see, not in your lifetime, Nick, not in your kids' lifetime, not in your grandkids' lifetime, I don't think we'll ever see Ovechkin's record broken. Hell, to me to talk of it.
Why do you-
Those are 5 records that will never go down.
Why do you think I wanted to cut his mic? He took us down a rabbit hole.
Do you think it'll ever be
Yes.
broken? Ovechkin's
Yeah.
record?
Somebody
Do you
with
think it'll be?
So let's put his record in perspective. If you doubled the number of goals that he has right now, okay, and you subtract the 894 goals that Wayne Gretzky has, Wayne Gretzky still has more points in his career than Ovechkin has.
We're talking goals here. We're talking goals.
No, I'm
he
talking
doesn't
points.
understand.
I'm talking points.
We're talking goals here.
Goals and assists. That's how you win a
We'll be
scoring
living
title.
on Mars and still won't see that record go down.
You're-
And he ain't done yet. I mean, a broken leg. He missed 16 games. Still got 42 goals this year.
Do you think if they play hockey on Mars, there will be an asterisk next to the records?
Yes.
They're playing in a
Will they
different
let somebody
atmosphere?
black him
Well,
off?
there's less gravity. Nick, there's less
Oh,
gravity.
you don't want to know what I have to say. Oh.
No, but Nick, there's less gravity on Mars, so that shoulder on the goalies, they might be
Y'all
going
to
over
Mars,
that.
Get away from us.
All right, let's go. Let's go to Chip's trivia time in 10 seconds. Enough of that nonsense.
I really didn't have anything to for my trivia, but Smoking Jim dumped something in my lap, and I'm the kind of person that I take the gifts that are bestowed upon me. So let's talk about some records that won't be broken.
Thank you, sir.
Okay?
That side of the table.
How about Jerry Rice's career receiving yards?
Oh.
22,895. How about Emmitt Smith's career rushing yards? 18,355. How about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers losing streak? 26 straight losses when they came into the NFL. Again, Smoking Jim talked about Cy Young's career victories. How about Ricky Henderson's career stolen bases?
Yeah.
1,406. The Iron Man, Cal Ripken Jr., 2,632 straight games without a night off.
Never be broken.
Walter Johnson's career shutouts,
Whoa.
110.
That's
He had that
unbelievable.
Next up, we talked about Will Chamberlain, didn't we?
Yeah.
What about John Stockton's career assist record, 15,806?
That's a big number.
Boston Celtics, 8 straight NBA titles.
They'll never be broken.
Then there's Wayne Gretzky's career points, 2,857. Martin Brodeur's career wins, 691.
Whoa.
Who's that?
Goaltender.
Some other sports, Byron Nelson's single-season PGA Tour wins, 11 in one season.
Wow.
Richard Petty's 200 NASCAR
there.
wins.
I used to watch
Didn't
Richard
Tiger do
Petty.
like 7 in one season or something? That's less than 11.
He won a few. I don't know the exact number. We could Google it. Richard
Googling
Petty's
that one.
200 NASCAR wins.
Yeah.
Secretariat's 1973 Belmont Stakes
Greatest
time.
horse in the world.
Really?
Greatest record. Yeah.
And here's one. I've never even heard of this one before. Uwe Hahn's javelin throw record. And it's believed to be unbeatable due to changes made after the last record was set. So just other feats in sports that are records that will probably never be broken.
I
Wow.
like that.
Hey, Paul Haley just updated us.
I had a question.
Yeah, Paul Haley, the Bucks losing 3-1 in the fifth to the Cubs.
You mean the Cardinals?
Oh, he misspoke.
Yeah, well, okay.
Oh, Cards. No, I misspoke.
Okay.
Do you think Barry Bonds' home runs will ever be broken? Career
Never.
and single season?
Never.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
I think in a perfect world, too, Ricky Henderson's stolen base record could be broken, only because...
Cruz can get it.
No, not him.
Yes,
Somebody in time. Ricky Henderson was real good at stealing without considering consequences. And so if you get a player that's risky enough to just go every time and risk getting caught and actually did get caught, I think somebody could beat it. So that's
I personally don't. When was the last time anybody in the major leagues stole over 100 bases?
Well, they're conservative. They're not trying to get thrown out. Ricky Henderson got thrown out a lot, but he stole a lot because he tried a lot. That's my argument. You get a player like that, maybe.
Good point.
I just don't
For a
think you're
future
going.
argument.
I just don't think you're going to see the longevity. You're going to have to play.
The bases are bigger now, don't forget. Hey, I'm just saying. I mean, that can factor in too. You get a risky guy,
But
you might be broke.
look at his numbers.
I did. He got thrown out a lot. He got caught a lot.
But look at the number of steals that he had.
I know, but he also attempted. I'm just saying, he attempted more than.
We're going to move
the
on, but we understand their points. Both of them are valid, and one's hypothetical. So we'll move on there. All right. We're going to go to Nick, VIP Callis time, 10 seconds.
Okay, so let's kind of go over real quick just where everything is. So I kind of spilled a lot of opinions about the Pirates, and I don't
Yes,
think
you did.
I don't think I need to beat that one too much. But just to make a comparison, because I've also heard a lot of Like, why don't the Pirates get criticized the same as the Penguins, get criticized the same as the Steelers? And I don't think you can do that. And I guess that's the opinion here. That's a simple one. And I'll explain why. You got to look at the dynamic of the three teams. I have a lot more forgiveness for the Penguins because they have won championships recently. Time is still passing us, and it's not like we don't want them to get better. But they're in a different position right now where they're like pretending to be competitive while they should be in a rebuilding state. And hopefully next season they'll actually commit to the rebuild and we'll have a dark period of time. But it's hard to criticize a team that's not winning. I mean, you can criticize how they're being managed, but how they're performing right now is just it is what it is. So when you criticize the Penguins, for them it's more about how they're managing their future right now and how they're pretending. The Steelers have a different criticism. They're doing the things it seems like fans want them to do, even when it seems like during the season they're stubborn, then they go into the offseason and they pile on a bunch of talent, and then they end up doing well for a little bit and then not well, and then they don't win in the playoffs. So they've got a different standard right now because they're like close, but they're not close, but then they make you feel like they're close. And so they're exciting, and the parody of the NFL is, it makes the season more exciting. It makes games heavier weighted, but then they blow it, and then we have to wait a whole another year before we see the potential for them to go to the playoffs again. So they're in a different place. The Pirates, we've given them enough grace. They've had an ample amount of time to figure it out. They drafted a great guy in Paul Skeens, and they didn't do much to support that foundation of prospects that, well, it's not even really a foundation of prospects because a lot of their prospects haven't worked out. So it's been tough. So they're graded on a different scale as well because they haven't really won, and you feel like they could build something and maybe spend a little more money, but they don't. So don't make the argument, like don't compare, like I've just heard a lot of people say like they're citing arguments when we talk about the three Pittsburgh teams because it's like, well, man, if we criticize the Steelers like we criticize the Pirates, I mean, the Pirates might be able to do something because, it's similar, it's comparable, and it's not. It's really hard, I think, to compare all three of the Pittsburgh teams because each sport is a different dynamic and each situation is different. They're all in different places, which I've just listed. So does that mean that we shouldn't be hard on our teams? I don't think so. Like I said, I like to give grace to the Penguins more than any of the teams because they won back-to-back championships the last time that they won. I think that can give them a little bit of leash, although I wish that they would manage the team like they couldn't, like they weren't going to keep winning because they, somewhere in there, I think that Kyle Dubas thinks they're still going to be contenders even though their team really isn't structured properly. I don't give too much grace to the Steelers because, again, they haven't rebuilt either. They're just pretending like they can keep being good every single season, and that's no good. And the Pirates are embracing the frugal aspect of sports. Again, they're all in different places. So when you're making arguments, keep the sports separated. Don't mesh them together. Don't dilute your arguments by trying to compare the Penguins to the Steelers to the Pirates. Keep them all separate and argue more for the structure of the sport and the league that hosts the sport, not necessarily the teams in the same cities. The end.
Thanks, Nick. The one thing I'll tell you, I've been a Pittsburgh fan my whole life, bleed black and gold, and I only look for results. And I trust teams to do the right thing. They're billionaires and everything else. Mm-hmm. So I don't have much control. And I'm glad we can do a sports show because we have the free will to criticize everything possible and think we could do better.
Right.
And that's what fans do. Like, we played ball. We might think like, wow, how did he not know to do that instead of going to second base come the home? So then we look for other problems. And that's what we put on our personal level. I just like all the sports, to be honest with you. I like watching it. Did make a decision not to watch Florida and Houston because the best teams weren't really there. They got beat for whatever reason, and that's what sports, it makes it great. Just like with us. Steelers are held to a different standard for 50 years. Penguins, in the last 20 years, look what they've done.
But I don't think they're held to different standards just
no,
because
they are
they're the
by
same
the
teams.
people that I talk to. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah,
that are fans. That's why, like what you're saying, is the overall look. If you had it that way, then that would be a little
I
different.
think you all agree with me when you say
No.
the Penguins are cursed. I mean, that's
No.
I think it's a very small percentage. I think it's a very small percentage of times we agree with you.
Yeah.
And when I spoke,
Thank you, Nick.
When I spoke, you were actually not on my mind at all. So that's tough.
And we don't believe in curses because we're not Jamaican with bones. So
Interesting
offense against Jamaicans
statistic
with
I just
bones.
looked up. I was looking up Ricky's stolen bases compared to his times caught stealing. He was caught stealing 335 times. Stole 1,406 bases. That's a
percentage.
he was successful 77% of the time.
Did you look at the rest of players at that time though, and how often they were
I
stealing?
did not. I looked at.
Well, that's
I
the
looked at
argument,
history.
Chip. Come on now.
No, I
get what you're saying. He stole a lot
of.
of bases, but he got caught more often than anybody would ever even attempt to steal. That was my point.
Well, Nick, just let me interrupt 1 second.
77% is pretty good.
Let me interrupt 1 second. Smoking Jim says he's right 97%.
He'd be my leadoff hitter.
Chip, Smoking Jim says he's right 97% of whatever he says. We can't verify it. You just verified something that's 77%. That's impressive. I remember Maury Wills when he was stealing, and I don't know how many times he got caught, but he was one of the best in his era. So we see these different things, and when you're saying like with your era and technology and shape and eating and whatever else, it's possible.
Well, not even that. It's just players don't attempt as much as Ricky Henderson did throughout his career, and that's why he was able to steal so much. So the real comparison you want to make is how often did he try to steal as compared to
No,
other
I get
people,
it.
and how often did other player what's the number of the players have gotten caught as opposed to Ricky Henderson?
No, I get it,
Yeah.
but it feeds into the analytical things, and a lot of that cuts out the chances that Ricky Henderson would take. So in your case, then nobody would break his record.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just trying to
People gotta
clarify.
take the risks. Yeah.
We believe, and I believe, if somebody were as reckless as he was, especially with pitchers only allowed
Would you
to
say
throw.
reckless or calculating?
Well, it could be both. I knew some guys that would steal no matter what when they were told not to, and guess what? Sometimes they stole the base.
'Cause, his teams won a lot of games.
Right. And
Well,
then
when you got the Bash brothers taking all those steroids in '89, I mean, of course they're going
Well,
to be in the World
Ricky-
Series and win one.
Ricky wasn't playing for the A's in '89, I don't believe.
Yes, he was.
You sure?
it was in the game.
I wouldn't
All right.
question Chip.
We're gonna move on because we're running out of time. I looked at the clock, and we're gonna go to my on location, and then we'll have a discussion afterwards. 3 minutes now.
Nick, he was on the Yankees
We
in
got 3
86,
minutes, guys.
87, 88, and 89.
All right, we're
He
back.
got traded to the Athletics in '89.
We're talking over stuff, so okay, we got that clarified with Ricky Henderson.
Whoops.
On location, no on location. Continue the discussions. We got less than 3 minutes, 2 minutes and 42 seconds. So we can talk whatever you want to bring up. Somebody get your phone.
There's a doorbell.
I like that. Go ahead, Chip.
That's not me.
No, I mean, go ahead with it.
Yeah, you go ahead. I think
Yeah, I might have messed up. I miscalculated there. Yeah.
All
so
right,
he-
what are we talking about to end the show? 2 minutes. 2 minute warning here.
Yeah, I was
you
wrong.
fact check me.
No, wait a minute. It says he got traded to Oakland in '89, and he was on the World Series team in '89.
Right. He started the year playing for the Yankees.
But he was in the World Series, so he technically played for the A's in '89. I'm not crazy. I did see that. I
Right,
knew
but
that.
he
All right,
wasn't-
they're both
He
right.
wasn't stealing bases for the Bash brothers. If he got traded in July.
All right, we have history, we have facts, and we have a discussion. He played for them then. Nick was right. What he was saying about the Bash brothers helping him to steal bases, who knows? Somebody prove that. But it was 77% in his career.
There we go.
We got that clarified. Any other points or trivia you want to bring up in an hour or 1 minute and 30-some seconds?
I've never seen your mind so blank, but I also don't pay attention.
What do you mean?
You usually have something to say at this time. You want to yell about grades,
I got
or
my mind on Aaron Rodgers, bro.
you think he's coming? I think he's coming.
Hell yeah, he's here. He's here.
He's here. There's a McAfee event going on tomorrow. I think he's going to announce it at that.
You think he'll be there?
Yeah.
Okay. But 20,000 people were here. Wow, McAfee's getting popular.
getting popular.
Hey, look at the
$70 a ticket.
look at the
$70 a
millions.
ticket?
Look at the millions McAfee made. Can
Are
you
going?
can you imagine
No.
imagine a Pittsburgh guy from Plum that went to West Virginia being a multimillionaire and a host
They
on a
love him.
show?
They love him.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's big time on wrestling too.
Interesting. They
What
just
happened?
punched up Lou Brock.
Yeah.
Caught stealing 307 times, and he stole less than 1,000 bases, and Ricky stole 1,406.
Well, how many did he steal?
1,000.
Less than 1,000.
Well, how much is the exact number? Let's just compare.
Okay.
Because 500 would be a lot if he stole like 968, just to throw it out there.
He'll give you a number, folks. Stay tuned. We're running down 20 seconds to go. We're going to have to end this show.
Go ahead.
We need that number. We're getting
I'm
close.
getting you an Aaron Rodgers jersey for your birthday
Me,
in October.
I like him, but he got a 2-cent brain, and I'm not going in a cave and meditate. All right, we're out of time. Please stay Joey strong.